Give that a good stir around. So make sure you mix sure and then mold them round, okay? Like that. Put a line on the middle like this. Look at those babies. That looks absolutely scrummy. And for your hot cross bun tea cakes, you want 388 grams of strong white flour, 48 grams of caster sugar, 50 grams of egg, 8 grams of bread improver, 44 grams of cake margarine, or you can use butter, or you can actually use white shortening if you want. 48 grams of fresh yeast. You can cut down the amount of yeast, that's up to you. It depends on the conditions you're working in. Or if you want to use dried yeast, it's around about 24 grams, give or take. 150 milliliters of water, 8 grams of milk powder, 150 grams of raisins, 2 tablespoons of mixed spice, or you can only use 1 tablespoon of spiced oil. Also, you need 2 tins. These are 20 centimeters small round ones, and obviously they're sprung. They're the better ones to have. Right, we'll get our dough on. So we'll start off by adding all our dry ingredients into the machine bowl, like that. Leave out the yeast for now. Give that a good stir around, and we'll get that straight onto the machine. So we start our machine off on first speed. Now we add in the liquid. Put some of it in first, then add in the yeast, and then the rest of the liquid. And we're going to give this 1 minute on first speed. Right, we're now going to knock this onto second speed, and then we're going to mix that for 8 minutes. Right, we'll just check the dough. So make sure you mix your spice into your fruit well. As you can see, I've got oil in mine. It sticks to the fruit. But if you're using the dried stuff, exactly the same thing. Just make sure it's all around the fruit. So we'll just put that straight into the dough. And we'll carry on mixing this for another 2 minutes. So we'll start it off on first speed. Right, now we'll knock it on to second speed. Just scrape that off the hook first. Right, our dough's ready. So we'll get this straight onto the table. So that's our dough. Now all you need to do is scale them off at 14 ounces each, okay? There's your 14 ounces. As you can see, I did that earlier. Now, if you do have any dough over, turn them into hot cross buns, and your hot cross buns want to be around about 2 ounces each. And all we need to do is mold these round, all right? So if you go like this first, and then mold them round, okay? Like that. Only lightly. Make sure you get some flour under them, like that. Just get your rolling pin. And you know what we're going to be doing with these. Just roll them out so they just about go inside that tin. Same as this one. If you didn't realise by now, we didn't need to rest this dough because obviously we got bread improver in it. So that's our dough into our tins. Now, if you're actually making this the slow version, you will have to make sure that dough is well proofed up and knocked back first before using it. And that's usually around about an hour. Today, because we're using bread improver, you don't need any of that. So once you've got it in a tin like this, all you need to do is just get out. Now you don't want to cut it all the way through, just put a line on the middle like this, across, okay? Same on this one. And if you notice, we're not fully out to the tin. Don't worry too much about that, because when it proves up, it's going to fill the tin out. Now you're going to be wanting to prove it up, so it's around about that amount, okay? So it's up to about there, all right? And that is going to take around about 1 hour, give or take. Now, if you haven't got a prover, you can put them in a nice warm place and just cover them over with plastic like this, all right? That's an easy route. Other than that, make yourself a prover. So I'm gonna get these straight into my prover. Now, you usually prove these for around about 1 hour, and the proving temperature normally is around about 30 to 35 Celsius. Okay, so I'm gonna get those straight into the prover. Our hot cross tea cakes are ready. So what we're gonna do is just put a cross across the top of these. And if you haven't seen my previous video, this is crossing paste. And basically this is flour, water, and oil. There is a recipe down in the description. And all we're gonna do is put a cross on the top. Like that. We're now gonna get those straight into the oven. Well, that's our tins into the oven. Now they're gonna be baking in there for around about 25 minutes, give or take. Now the oven temperature I've got is currently at just under 400 Fahrenheit. Now at home, and if you're using a fan assisted, also drop that down to about 180 Celsius, give or take. Really, you know your ovens more so than I do. I know my ovens inside out. I've got hot spots, and also you know your own oven. So you know that if you're gonna be baking for 20 minutes, always turn your tray round halfway through. Our hot cross tea cakes are ready, so we'll get them out of the oven. So once they're out the oven like this, first thing we need to do is just wash them over the top. Now this product is golden syrup mixed 50-50 with water. It's just a bun wash. Same thing that goes on hot cross buns. Look at those babies. That looks absolutely scrummy. And that actually took 16 minutes to bake. So there we go, folks. If you like content like this, please subscribe and please share. And don't forget, if you want to buy me a coffee, there's a link up here. And we'll see you again very shortly on the Crazy Baker channel. Laters! That's me lardis. Another 5 minutes.